Child support calculations in Maine is formulaic. There's literally a child support guidelines table. And I'm going to keep it simple. It's a little bit more complex, slightly more complex than I'm going to present it today. But it's a table. And let's just assume for the purposes of argument, I'm going to make up these arbitrary numbers. You and your spouse combined make $100,000 combined annual income. Why $100,000? Because I'm not great at math and this is easy for me to use. Your spouse makes $70,000, you make $30,000. Combined, that's $100,000. You have the child, you as the spouse. The spouse making $70,000 a year is the non-custodial parent. They don't have primary residency of the child. You get awarded child support. Let's say based on $100,000, the court says, according to this table, $100,000, you have one child, that's equal to $1,000 a month in child support. The non-custodial parent under this hypothetical scenario would have to pay 70% of that combined number, which is $700 per month. Again, these are not accurate numbers. I'm just using them to give you an example for how child support is roughly calculated using the child support guidelines, which is a very big table based on the combined salaries of both parties. A common question I face when first meeting with folks is, I want to modify the child support order. How can I do that? If it's been less than 3 years, you have to file a motion. You have to show a substantial change in circumstances. What is a substantial change in circumstances? 15% or more financially, you've moved up or down. Let's say you were making $100,000 and you lost your job and you can only get a job paying $30,000. That would be a substantial change in circumstances, but that's what you would have to put in the motion in order to get the court to hear it. If it's been longer than 3 years, you don't have to show specifically a substantial change in circumstances in order to get that motion heard, but it definitely helps. What happens if you don't make a child support payment? Well, DHHS could ultimately seek enforcement of that. If it's one payment, you should be able to hopefully work it out with your spouse, explain why, assuming you've got some decent working relationship and you make up for it, and it shouldn't be problematic. But if you're missing payment after payment because of a substantial change in your financial circumstances, you should be filing a motion with the court indicating why you can't afford to pay these child support payments now. Be ready to back it up. But if you just decide, I'm not making these payments anymore, you could have an order enforcing that from the court. You could be ordered also to pay your ex-spouse's attorney fees for having to prosecute that motion. You could be sanctioned by the court. In addition to having to pay the attorney fees, the court could sanction you in a number of different ways. The best way to handle it is not to ignore the problem, but to address it with a motion to modify the child support based on a substantial change in circumstances. Don't just not pay it. It's a terrible way to proceed. Child support can be enforced through the Department of Health and Human Services. Oftentimes, if there's a child support order, your employer will just automatically deduct that amount from your check, and that would be sent to the other party on a weekly or monthly basis, whatever's been decided. If you need to enforce it because your spouse is refusing to pay, unfortunately, you've got to pay for an attorney. And then your attorney is going to file a motion to enforce child support, and you're going to be asking for attorney fees back. But you've got to bring this to the attention of the court in order to get it enforced. If you have questions about how to modify an existing child support order, give the attorneys at the Maine Divorce Group a call today, and when you're ready, we'll get rolling.